Pop culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on the Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Honestly, can I give you guys a little bit? Because I get a lot of comments or compliments about the new intro that you guys just saw there coming into the morning report. It was written by ChatGPT. Yes, I told ChatGPT I needed an intro, a script, and then we kind of worked on it together, but she did the heavy lifting and she ate like no crumbs. Like we have a good relationship and it shows. She gets me. She really, really does. So sorry, you guys, that today's episode of the Morning Report is not live the way that I typically like for it to be, but we are celebrating Sveti Nicola today. He is the Slava of my lovers family, and so that's a big deal. So we've got a lot to prepare for. He and his friend are actually coming over in about an hour and a half, so I really got to get this show on the road here and really kind of just dive into the hot topics. Normally I love a little chit chat, a little goss with you guys, but we've got to dive in. So let's talk about P. Diddy. I hate talking about him, but unfortunately he really has been dominating the news sphere lately with all of the drama that he has got going on. So it looks like he could potentially be facing new charges, according to the Hollywood Reporter. And it's also been said that he has been looking absolutely terrible. He showed up in court yesterday and he was gaunt. Like he lost so much weight so quickly, like his face is sinking. He's obviously stressed. Everything is weighing on him, as it should. And then they're saying that his skin had like a dull grayish texture or color, and then his hair has all but completely grayed as well. And he is just, going through it again, as he should. Prosecutors talked about the case and said that their investigation into him is still ongoing. But that there is a potential that they will be filing a superseding indictment, meaning that he could potentially be facing new charges. And I think that if they were to do that, that would happen within the next year, because he's not due to appear in court again until March 17th. We're about to wrap up for the holidays, and it kind of is just what it is at this point. And mind you, March 17th, he will be appearing in court for a status hearing. So as of right now, expect for this case to be pretty quiet. Like on the flip side, and we will get into that later on in this video, but like the civil cases against him are still going to continue to make waves, especially as far as Tony Busby is concerned, because he is loving all of the press. But there's a discovery that's going to be happening into the Diddy criminal case at the end of this year, so within the coming days, and a trial date has been set for May 5th of the following year. Now, if you, like me, are really nosy and want to know what convict Diddy is eating in prison, I've got the answer. Shout out to Radar Online for this information. They said that Diddy's going to be eating chicken roast. It's going to come with mashed potatoes, mixed vegetables, gravy, and not one, but 2 dinner rolls and it's not going to be butter. I can't believe it's not butter. It's going to be margarine that he is eating. He's putting his bread rolls on. But listen, I do love bread and butter. I gotta say, I love baguette and some butter. So apparently he's going to be offered a selection of fruit pies or an ice cream sundae as a dessert. Diddy, you better behave. I don't want to see you going into the shoe and missing out on this sweet delight. Merry Christmas in the slammer. / not really. I'm being sarcastic. Now, speaking of the slammer, we've got someone here who might be seeing the inside of a jail cell very soon, and it is none other than the Grand Dame of Potomac, Maryland. And I'm really, really hurt and disappointed by this story because I've always loved Karen, and I've always been a rider for her, as she likes to call us. Every time she says, La Dame rise, in all of that grammatically incorrect glory, I rise with the rest of the Ladons. So now, seeing that she has been found guilty, I am beside myself. I truly, truly am. I hate drunk drivers. I feel like any amount of DUIs is just, disturbing and inexcusable, especially in this age of Uber and whatnot. And mind you, she is the grand dame. She should even have a personal chauffeur at her disposal because she's rich. She's married to the Black Bill Gates. So why did she decide to get behind the wheel and put everybody's lives in danger? She's been repeatedly saying on this season of Potomac, everybody has to stand by, wait, ride with me, do not be against me. The truth will come out in court. Well, now, Karen, baby, the truth came out and you have been found guilty on all but one charge. So let's go over everything that she's been found guilty of, shall we? Karen Huger, when it comes to the DUI, you were guilty. Negligent driving, guilty. Failure to control speed to avoid a collision, guilty. And failure to notify authorities of an address change, guilty. The only thing that she was found not guilty of was reckless driving. But you know what? Catching the DUI charge is even worse. And on top of that, this truly has not been a good 24 hours for Ms. Huger because body cam footage has been leaked. And it's not just one video, it's a series of videos. And she is just drunk off her mind. Her wig is hanging halfway off her head. It starts like all the way back here. And she was being very indigent towards a particular officer. She was like, I don't like him. I'm not going to talk to him, that type of stuff. And then she admitted to being drunk, lit more particularly. And she claimed to be, I think, Thomas Jefferson or someone's concubine. It was a terrible look for Karen. And I just wish that she took the plea deal. I don't know how she had all this information and knew all of this and really thought, you know what, I'm going to do a jury trial. They're going to let me off. Like, that is peak delusion. Now, of course, she has released a statement through her attorneys about this entire situation, continuing to downplay the severity. And at this point, as much as I love Karen, and I still do love Karen, as much as I hate all these actions she's done, it feels like she's still downplaying it all, and that's pissing me off. Here's a quote from her attorney, A. Scott Bolden, provided exclusively to People magazine. Although we're disappointed in the jury's verdict, we of course respect their decision and appreciate their time hearing our case. We continue to reserve Mrs. Huger's rights to an appeal and intend to fully pursue justice on her behalf. Come on now. Come on. Appeal what? We look at the state of that car. Look at the state of that woman. Look at the state of that wig. Okay, and those eyes. And the weird things that she's talking about, the concubine this, concubine that. Rave stupidly had her talking in front of the body cam about how many beers or whatever she consumed too. Like, she's guilty, y'all. It is what it is at this point, and you gotta accept responsibility and vow to change moving forward if you want to keep people in your corner. Of course, there are people who are diehard Ladons. I'm always going to correct it. Let me just go ahead and start correcting it because it makes my ears itchy. They're going to be diehard les dames who still want to support Karen despite all this. And you know what? Whatever, no problem. Listen, I love her so much. It's painful for me to even criticize her. So I get it. I do. And I want to see her do better. But if she really, 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 truly wants, even people who don't like her to be in her corner in some capacity, she's got to take responsibility. Anyway, you guys, let's take a quick little pause here for a word from our sponsors. The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running. Are you looking for the perfect skincare products for women over 30? Look no further than Rothia. Rothia is a skincare brand born from love and made for parents. Their flagship product, the Resilience Cream, delivers clinically proven age prevention benefits such as average 14% wrinkle reduction after 4 weeks of use. Click the link below and receive 30% off your first purchase today. You guys, I love that little segment. It's so cool to be able to have sponsors who help keep this show and this channel up and running. So shout out once again to Philo and to Ruthia for their support. Now, you guys, we're going to talk about someone that I haven't talked about in a long time. I honestly even forgot he existed. It is none other than Trash Can Thompson. No, no, no. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for this. Trash Can Thompson. Yep. Yeah, and he is still being trash. That is why I will never change his name as much as it pisses off some people. Anyone who can do what he does to his son Theo is pure trash, and I will never, ever, ever, ever refer to them otherwise. Trashcan has 4 children, but look what he just posted on his Instagram. A full-blown slideshow celebrating only 3 out of 4 of those children. To this day, he is still pretending that child does not exist, and that child is older than Tatum Thompson, who he tries to pass off as his youngest child. And so, if you go through the comments, first of all, you see Khloe Kardashian liking it, which story for another day. But if you go through the comment section, a lot of people are fairly calling him out for doing that to his son, just acting like he does not exist. That is pure deadbeat behavior. It doesn't matter how good you are to the other 3. If you're not good to all your kids, you're not good to any of your kids, and you're trash, because they deserve to have that connection with one another, and you are depriving them of that. Your child that you chose to lay down and make behind your then girlfriend's back is your responsibility, and he deserves to have you in his life as well. Shame on you. You've traumatized every single last one of these children. Pure filth. So now, outside of the story about the children, I do want to tell you that it's kind of looking like his money is a little funny. Do you guys remember his inaugural baby mama, Jordan Craig? Her sister last year went in a huge rant on social media saying that Trashcan is a social media parent. He posts pictures here and there of Prince, but he doesn't actually show up in his life, okay? And he doesn't even pay the child support he's supposed to be paying for this child. And so Jordan took Trashcan to court to get that money, and Trashcan was owing over $200,000 in back child support. The exact number was about $224,000. And guess what? Jordan managed to get that money out of him. As of now, Trashcan has officially paid up on his back child support, which, by the way, I wonder how much he owes Marilee, the mother of the ignored child, Theo. But that's a story for another day. And now, after paying off the debt, what does Trashcan do? Trashcan goes and takes out $1 million loan against one of his homes. Listen, I'm not saying he's broke, but I'm saying it's looking like the cash flow is just a little backed up right now, and he needs to be more liquid, especially after spending, such a huge amount of money, $250,000 on one child, and he's got all these other children he needs to pay for, and just, his regular day-to-day trash expenses. Yeah, so just a little bit of an FYI there. Shout out to the US Sun for that story, because I was not expecting to hear that today. But you know what I was expecting to hear today? More of that Diddy mess. Listen, these 2 are the final stories of the day, and they go hand in hand. So they, because of this Diddy mess, Jay-Z got dragged into the whole thing. Tony Busby, the attorney who was trying to make a huge name for himself by representing about 300 clients, suing P. Diddy, roped Jay-Z into one of the lawsuits. And that lawsuit had more holes in it than a block of Swiss cheese. And so Jay-Z and his firm decided to have a motion to have the case dismissed, okay? And they called out Tony Busby for even bringing it to the courts. They said, you did not properly vet this. This is a trash lawsuit. They said that Tony Busby, this is not the first time he's done that. He's got a track record of employing suspect tactics to gain an unfair advantage in the course of litigation, and just a whole bunch of other things to hammer him. They even brought up a allegedly bogus lawsuit that Busby had filed in the past against a professional baseball player named Scott Erickson. Like, they really, truly went in. In fact, you know what I'm going to try to do over the weekend is try to find this case and this lawsuit so that we could read it line for line, bar for bar together. Now, Tony Busby is not taking that lying down because he and his firm are now suing Rock Nation, not Jay-Z particularly, but Rock Nation. They're saying, you guys have been meddling with my clients. In fact, you are trying to, what is that word? Obstruct justice. And it is just this whole thing. They're claiming that Jay-Z and his team have been reaching out to his clients in an effort to get them to sue Tony Busby, Tony Busby's firm. So, quote, defendants have conspired to obstruct justice by engaging shadowy operatives to illegally seek out more than 24 current and former clients of the Busby law firm to convince those clients to bring frivolous cases against the Busby law firm. So apparently, Jay-Z and Rock Nation had Busby's clients approached by individuals who, quote, pretend to work for the state of Texas and who have flashed fake badges in order to intimidate these people. Those claims kind of remind me a little bit of the initial Diddy stuff. Do you remember when social media commentators, especially the TikTokers, were posting videos of like random people showing up to their homes, claiming to be the authorities, looking out for the whole, Diddy of it all? Well, something about those tactics like sound like this, they show up plain clothes claiming to be like, officers of some kind of law. Interesting stuff. Lots to think about. Listen, guys, I'm so sorry that this episode feels rushed. It feels rushed because it is rushed because I got to get off here and start preparing for Sveti Nikola. I would have loved to get all of your feedback spoken to you in real time, the way that we always do. But unfortunately, today that is not possible. However, I am happy that nonetheless, I've been able to put this together for you guys so that we can at least have some kind of, continuance of our daily ritual. So just as a reminder for those of you who are perhaps new to all of this, every weekday, so Monday to Friday, I said two or through at the same time. That's why my mouth went. So Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, I go live for the morning report where we break down all these stories, but we don't zoom through them the way that I did just now. Typically we talk about it. People in the comment section chime in. Like it's a whole ordeal. I share a little bit more about what's going on in the day-to-day, that sort of thing. Okay, so, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you for being here. And I'll see you next time. Take good care of yourselves. And again, happy Sveti Nikola to all who are celebrating / happy Slava. Take good care of yourselves. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.